Welcome, everybody. It's another exciting edition of the Sportshole. I'm your host, Luke. With me, as always, XFL Jim, rock and roll Matty Goldberg.
Boys, what's up, Matty? How we feeling?
Hey,
Another episode of the Sportshole, just
Luke's
the two of us.
Luke's on vacay. I don't know. I think he's in Michigan. I think he was in a bratwurst contest.
Yeah, I think he's roughing. Yeah, he was. He sent us the DM stuff.
Yeah, he ate four though.
How many bratwurst? What was the time limit for that? Do you remember?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. But 4 is I don't know the details. I haven't really spoke to him. We texted a little about the Bachelorette last night, but that's about it. And yeah, I mean, he'll probably tell us more. I mean, I'm not in a what's it called? I've never been in an eating contest. I haven't been in many contests, to be honest.
Honestly, neither have I. How many brats do you think you could get down in 10 minutes?
Well, I don't really eat brats. I don't really eat hot dogs. But when I was younger, when I did, I'd say 2 or 3 before, like, that give me a little indigestion, a little stomach ache.
If I put my mind to it in 10 minutes, I could probably do like 8.
So you think you can win?
Well, I don't know. We don't know who won the contest.
Circuit?
I know, Matty. I definitely couldn't do that. I like eating, but I like taking my time too much.
Yeah, I like to sit. You know, like right now, I know this is boring for a lot of people, but I'm making a turkey breast. Like, it's in the oven, and it's set exactly when we're done. I'm going to be fucking feasting, and hopefully Hard Knocks will be on, the new one with the Chicago Bears. See Caleb Williams and his fancy nail polish, and watch what the Bears do. The Bears.
Dude, I'm excited for this. I'm kind of excited for this Hard Knocks, but I feel like we say that every year.
Well,
Like,
you need a charismatic coach. I don't know how charismatic. I'm forgetting names. What's his name? Yeah, Ron Eberflus.
I feel like it's every year we talk about Hard Knocks and we're just like, oh, I'm so excited for it. And then by like the 4th episode, we're just like, oh, okay.
You know what it is though? Like, you have this, me and you, we're football guys. Like, when it's September or even August, because the season starts in August for college, till about February, like, we eat shit, sleep, breathe football, like fantasy. Confidence league, spread leagues, survivor pools, more fantasy, like that last fantasy league.
Not to mention, there's like college football on like every freaking day of the week.
Almost every day. And plus, you're a guy probably that does a lot of what's it called at the beginning of the year, a lot of futures. Futures. Oh, yeah. You probably love.
We've been going through on my other shows, conference by conference.
Yeah.
Just made it to the P4. We're covering the Big 12.
So we're getting there.
I'm salivating.
Like we're getting, like, I'm on a few dating apps, and it's like, do I get, like, not that I'm like a prize of any sort. It's not like
it's the worst timing to go.
The ladies aren't lining up, but it always seems like right before football season, there's a lady that grabs your attention. You're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because, like, I can be alone during football season and it's fine. But it's so overwhelming this season. You need a break in February. And then you kind of like, okay, then you get March Madness. And then, like, that Hard Knocks. It's like that first, like, I'm going to be really graphic. Is that right? I'm a little X-rated here, Jim.
I like it, Matty. Go for it. Let her rip.
You ever, like, a little pre-cum in your khakis?
Oh, dude, Matty, that's exactly. I was going to say either that or it's like when you're about to go out and that first sip of like a pregame beer.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like, okay, here it is. The grass, the feeling, the smell, the pads, the guys. There's Hard Knocks does it right because they're going to cover Caleb Williams. They're going to cover the head coach. But they're going to cover some guy that's trying to make the team, and we're going to get invested. And I'm going to watch the NFL tracker to see if whatever this guy made the fucking team. Like they do it so right.
They always find at least one guy that like is on that cutting block potentially
Yes.
that they can
That's a
just
good
zone in
story.
on. That's a great story.
Yes.
God, I'm hyped for it. I can't wait. Now, Maddie, you just got me hyped.
I forget one year it was like the first scene was like they're like doing the lines, the grass, they're mowing it, and then you just see two guys fighting, like just two big linemen just throwing punches, and then you hear da-na-na, da-na-na, and then like maybe at the end of August we'll do it. I'll do an awards for the Hard Knocks. Like I think Rex Ryan was the legend of Hard Knocks. Like I don't think anybody touches Rex Ryan's one-liners and crazy shit that he said.
You know what show I miss? Kinda. Last Chance U.
Yeah, I never really got into that, but I know it's a good show, and I know like a lot of kids, make it. A lot of kids don't make it, and from what I heard it's a really great show.
I watched season 1. It was amazing. Season 2 was whatever. And then season 3 was just kind of eh. Like, the coach was a character, but.
Yeah, so we'll see how Ron Eberflus is. Like, I want characters. I want to, you got to have an interesting coach. Like, even Gruden, even though he's been canceled, was fun. And the whole Antonio Brown season was good. I liked the last season with Aaron Rodgers, and that was like a total bust because it was like the Aaron Rodgers show, and he played one play. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know much about – I love Caleb Williams' game. I don't know much about him personally. He seems like an interesting guy. We will see. And then I got to be honest, the Cowboys years were always really boring. I found Dak pretty boring, and I found the coach, Mike McCarthy, just a big fat fuck.
I'm trying to think what team would be super fun for them to do. Bears is a good one. Broncos could be fun. Which one did you say?
I like to see Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, dude. If they could have gotten the Chargers this year, yes. I watched that Michigan college documentary too.
Yeah, it was great
on Amazon. Goddamn, that's funny.
Well, guys respect him. He's one of those guys that like he doesn't yell at people, but you know where you stand. Like you fuck around, you're out in a second, and nobody messes with him because he's one of those like intense guys that everybody respects, and he's fun and he says weird stuff. And he's kind of full of shit, and he's kind of not full of shit. Even his brother would be fun with Lamar Jackson. The Chiefs, maybe. I think Andy Reid's seemed kind of better. I live right by the high school Andy Reid went to. Like, literally, now it's like a half a mile away, but I used to live like 100 feet. And I lived right by where he grew up. I always thought about the big poops he took in the toilet. That's the one. When I walked by his house, I'm like, he must have dropped deuces in there.
He must have had like an industrial toilet.
Yes. But it's, I would say Jim Harbaugh is the one guy I'd like to see.
I think Chargers would be a good one. I think Seahawks would be fun just to hear like old Pete Carroll.
Well, he's gone now.
I'd still like if we go back in time just a little bit.
Yeah, he would be fun because he's a positive guy. He's a rah positive guy, but it is that first like dick tease.
It's that first. It's like when you walk into a nice restaurant, you get the whiff before you have to wait.
You know what it's like too. I know I'm always a sex guy. I don't get a lot of sex, but it's like you're on a date with a girl, and it's like you're like holding her hand. You guys are kind of did a little PDA and making out. And in like 2 hours, it's on like Donkey Kong. And it's like that feeling of like, holy shit, we are getting close to that first, like, I don't know. I might go to Vegas for week 1. I got a little extra money. I might say, fuck it. Let's go to Vegas. I'll watch the games at Caesars. You're welcome to join.
Do it, Matty.
Well, if you want to come out there. You got
also
the world, but
also all these quarterbacks have been getting paid now. So now Tua got paid. Love got paid. What do you think about Love getting paid after like maybe half a season of great games?
I love it because the playoffs are what makes a man a man. Like what makes a man is the playoffs. And he fucking balled out against the Cowboys. Now they got a little conservative against the 49ers. They probably should have won that game. But like a lot of people are picking the Packers to win the Super Bowl, and it's like you're like, hot damn, like they went from Favre to Rodgers to Jordan Love. There are some good people picking out some quarterbacks there, and that is not hard to do. I mean, I saw, the 49ers going from Montana to Steve Young. They had a little success with Jeff Garcia, but they went years without a quarterback. Years. So, like, when you have a franchise quarterback that's amazing, most teams, like, they go through some hard times afterwards. And the Packers have figured out, like, if we can get a franchise guy, we can survive, we can be competitive. And they're doing it again. And I believe in him, and he deserves the money. And he's gotten – you just saw the progression. Like, you saw the progression of him getting better and better. And it's kind of a bummer for the Lions because they probably thought they were going to cruise that division. Now the Packers are a real threat.
How many? Okay, he's only 25.
Sorry to talk so much. Yeah, he's young. He also sat. Sitting is important. Guys that sit do well.
That's
most
fact.
of the time. It's a fact. It's a fact, Jack.
So, Maddie, I wrote a couple.
Brady. Sorry.
I wrote a couple things down in the notes. You brought up the Olympic schlong, that the pole vaulter who was disqualified because his hog was too big.
Yes.
And knocked over the ball.
Don't you think he knew about that? Like, don't you think he knew, like, this could be – or do you think, like, he was like, listen, I'll free ball it. So when I run, the ladies know I'm well endowed and, like –
So it had to have been working in practice, but also you have the backup of if you're going to lose, that's probably the best way to lose.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I even wrote a joke. If I ever did stand-up, I would go like, I wish I could use that excuse like, hey, Goldberg, why wasn't that report on my desk? I'm like, well, I got a really big penis. I mean, don't you wish you could use that for – like he really can use that like, why did you lose in the Olympics? Because my dick is so big.
Sorry,
like,
my dick's too big.
I said that to somebody. They didn't understand what I was saying. I'm like, did you hear about the person? They're like, what? And I sent it, and they were like, oh my god, this is for real.
It's fucking massive.
Yeah, he's got a hog.
Also in the Olympics. Though, we fucking America on top. We're ahead in the medals now. We're ahead in gold.
Well, I think we always win the Olympics. I don't know why. I would probably, some sports we destroy and then some sports we don't. Like swimming, we dominate. Running, basketball, women's soccer,
women's basketball.
I haven't gotten too much into the Olympics. Like I put it on and then it's like an afterthought. Which I don't. I wish I got more into it, and then I never know the schedule. But it's fun. It's coming here, man. 4 years.
What we didn't win was 3-on-3 basketball.
See, I don't understand that. Why don't we just get NBA players to do that?
I don't understand.
Like, who do they get?
Let me see who is on.
Is it like the best amateurs from?
Well, I know the women's uses WNBA players.
Yeah, that's weird.
So let me see. So we got knocked out of pool play. We didn't even make it out of the pool play. Let's see who's on this team. We lost to the Netherlands. We lost to the Dutch.
That is so bizarre. I'm sure if we ever beat a team in soccer that's like a European country like Netherlands or France or Germany or England, they would be like, we lost to the fucking Americans. Sorry, our soccer stinks. We lost 4-0 to somebody in the medal round.
I got it right here, Matty. The U.S. Olympics men's 3-on-3 basketball team roster includes Jimmer Fredette, Canyon Barry, Kareem Maddox, and Dylan Travis.
See, I remember Jimmer Fredette. He was on BYU. He was a 3-point guy. He was drafted early in the NBA, probably around 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Get Mike Golke in there.
Yeah, I mean, I know Fredette, though. I don't know the other guys. I mean, Fredette was supposed to be a good NBA player. Like, he kind of had a J.J. Redick type game. Could get open, hit some threes, but he just didn't really translate in the NBA. And I think he went to Europe for a while.
Let me see.
But yeah.
Oh, so Canyon Barry played in the G League.
Mm-hmm.
4 seasons in the G League. Obviously, there was Fredette. Kareem Maddox played at Princeton and then played overseas.
Hey, Princeton has a good program. They always are good for a win in the NCAA.
And he currently works part-time in the Minnesota Timberwolves front office.
That's pretty funny.
And then Dylan Travis, career overseas.
You know what I see? Like, you remember White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah.
So that was 2-on-2. So I'm like, what if they do it like where it's at Venice Beach and they just have a 3-on-3 tournament and the winner goes to the Olympics?
Okay, so here it is right now. The last guy, Dylan Travis.
Yeah.
After a brief professional career overseas, Travis was working as a special education teacher and basketball coach at a high school in Omaha, Nebraska. He got the call from USA Basketball in 2022. He's paused his teaching due to the travel commitments. He's 30 now, so he's my age.
Yeah.
And he was formerly a Division II national champion while at Florida Southern.
I mean, they're not getting big names. I wonder if they got like guys like Allen Iverson, who's like probably 46, 47, and a couple guys like that, if they could win.
My question is, why wouldn't you just get some like – I get that it's maybe the conditioning is different, but why wouldn't you just get like some NBA players who you're not putting on the actual roster?
I think they will eventually. I think they're like, hey, let's win a gold in this. Because, listen, they can take the 3 worst guys from the U.S. team or the 3 guys that got cut at the end, the last 6 guys. So you have like 3 subs, 3 guys. And, they would dominate. Like the last, who would be like the guys that didn't
just pick 3 people at random. Just put like Jaylen Brown, Trae Young, and then someone else.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And those guys probably just missed the Olympic cut. But
Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, and Trae Young. There you go. I don't care who. Other news, Maddie. Charles Barkley.
He's back.
He's staying with TNT.
But what do they have?
I don't know, but he's staying there.
He's the best at it. You know, he's when I watch the movie Air, they do like these references to today's times because it takes place in like 1983 or 84. It's about the Michael Jordan shoe contract. So they're like, who should we get? And they're like, should we get Charles Barkley? And it's like, nah, nobody wants to hear him talk. And it's like a joke because he's so good on TV. But he's probably as good of a player as he was. And I got to watch him play, and he was one of a kind because of his body. He's very funny. He's very insightful. He's very real. He's very natural. He has things that we'll see if Tom Brady has, which I don't know if he will. I mean, it's very hard to be a good announcer.
I just wonder what they're even going to have him do on TNT. They don't have any NBA content anymore, do they?
Probably not.
So what?
Hockey, baseball.
Comment every other sport.
He can. What shows do they have? AEW wrestling.
Yeah, he could do. Yeah, get him in AEW. That'd be good.
I don't know. I think it's like my sister's a writer, and they'll sign her like a company, or they'll be like, we're going to sign you for 2 years. You can't work for anybody else. So it's like, we're going to give you all this money for a couple of years. You can't work anywhere else, just in case we get some sort of basketball contract. I'm thinking that's the plan. It's kind of like a thank you parting gift. That's my theory. I could be very wrong.
I think you could be right.
Because I don't understand it, you know?
I really don't know. I don't know why he would stick around either unless he's getting like a huge bag.
Well, he is getting the huge bag. He has to be, and I think
Like we don't know the amount.
I'm gonna say it's somewhere around 20 mil or something.
For how many years do you think?
2, 3. I mean, who knows? I could also be 100% wrong. You know, I could be 100% wrong. Sorry, I just checked the baseball game. I got the over under on the Orioles Blue Jays. It was 0-0 in the 5th, and now it's 5-1. So I'm happy.
Maddie, are the White Sox playing today?
There's 60 under, right? 60, but under 500.
Yeah. So the White Sox right now, what are they? They're on pace. You want to know what they're on pace to do?
40 and 120.
38 and 124 is the pace they're on.
I heard they might move.
Where?
Oakland? No. That's a good question. I would say, there's markets now that are like maybe Oklahoma City. Not Florida. Florida sucks. Maybe the Carolinas, Charlotte. I mean, I don't know. There's, I don't know.
What's it like when a franchise sort of just gives up?
Like gives up for the year, or
I guess for the year, yeah. You just kind of like just take the year. Maddie, they're tied for the AL record of like losses in a row.
Well, this is almost like what Major League, what that woman wanted the team to be. She hoped they would be so bad, a fancy franchise like the Indians, that you can move them. And this feels like a total dumping, but like, what does it matter if I'm running the White Sox? I don't care about this year. Let's lose as many games, and let's rebuild, and let's get draft picks. But they just, I don't know. They're a franchise that just never can, get it together in the last 10, 12 years. They had a few good years a couple years ago. They put some money in the team, but now they just dumped everything. And it's like, when you think of Chicago, you think of the Cubs. They're always second-class citizens, even more than the Mets. The Mets have a huge fan base.
I feel like maybe this is anecdotal, but it feels like baseball more than other sports that you have like apathetic owners who don't care as much and just want to make money. It feels like you have that more in baseball than like basketball, hockey, and football.
Well, here's the thing about baseball. I remember my buddy I went to high school, and he's like, he actually made a lot of money in the stock market. And he went to go see a thing with Wayne Huizenga. He used to own the, I don't know if he's alive anymore, but he owned the Dolphins, the Marlins, maybe one of the Florida hockey teams.
I think the Panthers.
But he said this. He said, if you're looking to make money owning a team, you can't. You do it because you love it. Like, these are rich guys. They're so rich that, I mean, certain teams are making money. Like, I'm sure Robert Kraft is making money with the Patriots and whatnot. But, like, if you're in Florida,
Jerry Jones is making money.
Yes. But some of these guys, like, they have so much money. These are toys to own these teams and whatnot. And, yes, baseball is something where what they've realized, like, this is what the Pirates fans have had problems for years, is that the owners have realized, if we put this amount of payroll with this product, we will make a profit, and we do not need to win, because if we do put more money into the team, the profit goes down, and there's no guarantee we're going to win. So this amount of the payroll with this amount of profit, and it sucks.
Yeah, they just figure out how many people they can get in seats to be like, we need to figure out the amount that we can win.
Yes.
The minimum amount that we can win in order to like have fans show up.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's absolutely garbage. And when you feel like one of those owners is doing it, you got to get him out of the league. You got to get him out of the league, because it's garbage. Absolute BS, because there is an owner that will want to be competitive. But a lot of times guys buy teams, they want to be competitive, and they start losing money, and they don't know what to do, and then they just they just go back to like, all right, we got to cut everything. And that sucks. And baseball's the worst because there's so many games. Football, you only have 8 home games. It's such a big thing. Every game sells out pretty much. Everything is a big deal in the NFL. Every game is like Christmas. Baseball, there's too many games.
Do you think they should cut back the amount of games of the baseball season?
No, but you just got to realize, like, you're not the sport you used to be. I don't think they should have changed any of the rules. I don't think they should have changed the pitch clock. I talked about how when they interview guys on the field is so stupid and useless. And I don't know. I've been watching a little more baseball because I get the itch to bet on a game at night, so I kind of follow it. But I really don't follow like as I used to follow. I used to follow a lot more.
I have watched, and by watched I mean had on in the background, 2 MLB games this year.
That's 2 in your whole life.
No. I've done. I watched the last time. I'll tell you this. I can remember very vividly the last time I like actually engaged, like really paid attention and watched baseball was that Cubs World Series run.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That was the last time I like paid attention. I was like, this is entertaining as hell.
Yeah, and like, you know, my father's from Boston, so we love the Red Sox. When you have a fan base that's suffered for so long, it's like for that area, for that region, it's just like it just unites everybody. It's grandmas, it's grandpas, it's your parents that passed away, it's your grandparents that passed away. It's the first thing you think of when they win it. It's bigger than anything, and that is the beauty of baseball. It is the beauty of football. Like, I watched a lot of Bengals videos when they made it to the Super Bowl, and you're seeing like son and dad, you know, a grown son cry with his father because they probably watched this shitty team for 30 fucking years, and it's like, what? So for the Cubs fans, like, I think they won in 1908 before. And I worked with a buddy that was a huge Cubs fan, and I just know, like, he was just in a whole other world. Like, it was just like something that you never thought he'd ever see.
If one of my teams gets there,
look, when Nebraska wins, like,
if Nebraska won a national championship, I would probably cry.
And you will think about the people in your family that love them. That's like, if your grandpa, you've ever watched it with your grandpa, your grandma, it's like those are the first people you will think of. I'm getting you all like horny right now.
It'll never happen, man. I just can't believe
it. Will happen. Oh, I heard their quarterback looks just like Patrick Mahomes.
They strikingly similar. I'm very hyped for the season.
They're not related though.
No.
I like that he's kind of like Greta Van Fleet to Led Zeppelin. That he is to Patrick Mahomes. It's like he almost looks like a cover band of Patrick Mahomes. Like, they look exactly alike.
They look super similar.
Like, do you ever see like that guy who goes to Chiefs games and dresses as Andy Reid?
Yes, I have.
It's that close. But dude, this guy happens to play.
Speaking of friggin' college ball, let me see if I can look it up. What's up with Georgia right now?
They got a guy arrested, right?
They've had multiple this year, right?
Yeah, they're turning into Florida State, Florida. I mean, I just think when you recruit a certain way, like, you know, you get troubled dudes. This kind of happens, I would think. I don't know. But they seem to be the team that has the most guys in trouble, right?
It definitely feels that way. Also, I think someone did a write-up or a deep dive into those, like, Urban Meyer Florida teams. And I think about half of the roster eventually ended up getting arrested.
Yeah.
For something.
I mean, they definitely took a lot out of the Florida, the Netflix documentary. They didn't mention, like, all the people that got arrested and what they got arrested for. And, you know, Urban Meyer was the good guy, and it was a cream puff doc. I mean, there were some cool things in it, but it's a tough thing because you got these guys that you know are going to help your program, but you also know you can have some issues too. And it's not as tolerated as it once was.
So it looks like what was it? I believe Ra Thomas has been indefinitely suspended.
He was the
I'm trying
wide
to see what else
receiver.
they've had. Yeah, he was the
I
wide
know
receiver.
a guy just got caught, like a wide receiver just got in a lot of trouble.
They did. They had you remember that blind long snapper from USC?
No, did he get in trouble?
No. But USC, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, had a blind long snapper that was kind of making
I
waves.
remember that story.
And he tweeted out literally recently. He's like, "Good thing I didn't play at Georgia. I would have been able to drive to practice."
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there's always going to be programs that go through that, and I don't know. I don't talk to their coach, and he wants to win. It's a tough decision.
It is tough, Maddie. It's very tough.
I mean, what do you think? Like, what do you think about?
Listen, as someone who's like grew up reading about the Nebraska '90s and whatnot, Tom Osborne covered up some stuff. It's
Absolutely.
Those guys, those high up college coaches, and especially someone at Kirby Smart's level, they're win at any cost.
Well, I remember there was a guy named Jason Peters on Nebraska, and he like sexually assaulted a bunch of women or hit his girlfriend.
He was in the Scott Frost program for a little bit.
Yeah, he got drafted by the Patriots, and then they cut him. And they let him play, and of course, Lawrence Phillips, who I saw a crazy documentary about his time in Nebraska, and it was chilling, and it was very scary and very sad because you can't deny how fucking talented that guy was.
Maybe the best player to ever walk through the doors of Nebraska.
So mentally ill and so many demons, but you're even in the NFL, you're and that was more of a running back league about 25, 30 years ago. You're still thinking I know this guy's trouble, but if he gets his shit straight, he can be a stud. He can be a Hall of Fame legend. He had that ability.
God, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Maddie, the last bit of news that I had on the docket was, what team do you think Brandon Ayuk ends up on?
Well, I don't know why you want to go on the Patriots. I saw you as a choice between the Browns and the Patriots, and
the Steelers are still in the mix, maybe.
Oh, they are. The Steelers don't really get high-priced kind of free agents looking,
looking for money.
Yeah, that stud signing. They kind of draft and try to get guys that are kind of bargain guys that can fit in. So that's kind of weird. But the Patriots are rebuilding so much, but they will give money. And I figure the Browns have a legitimate shot of being a contender. They do have a shot, and he would help a lot. I just think with the Patriots, they're in such rebuilding. I don't know why you would want to go there unless they're going to throw you millions of dollars.
I was going to say, how much money would you take just to lose?
I mean, I take a sandwich and a handshake. I'm a different tax bracket, but
fair.
If somebody offered me a max contract or close, I would take it to lose.
I take it to lose. I don't care.
I believe in Drake May.
And if not, you can believe in Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, well, he's third now.
Who's the second string?
Well, they got Jacoby and May.
I forgot they had Jacoby.
And he's going to start, and he played very good last year.
He did. He looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Maddie, I'm looking right now from a little Hard Knocks preview.
Yeah.
Nick Saban and Matt Eberflus talking.
Where does Eberflus come from?
Let me look him up real quick.
it's cool that Nick Saban's kind of going to do his round. And
I'm excited to see Nick Saban on a broadcast desk. I don't think he's calling games, but I think he's doing like a
studio.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect spot for him. I don't know if I want him as a commentator, but I'd like to hear his opinion.
I do too. He's very knowledgeable. I mean, obviously, he's a legend.
Okay, so, I can give you Eberflus's coaching career right now. He's from Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Went to college at Toledo.
Okay.
Was a student assistant at Toledo. Was a grad assistant at Toledo. Was the recruiting coordinator and outside linebackers coach at Toledo from 94 to 95. Was the outside linebackers coach at Toledo from 96 to 98. Was the DB coach at Toledo from 99 to 2000. From 2001 to 2008, he was the defensive coordinator and associate head coach at Missouri. Those, if you remember, those are some good Missouri teams in that stretch.
Yeah, the life of a coach is intense.
Cleveland Browns, 2009 to 2010, linebackers coach.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys, 2011 to 2015, linebackers coach. Dallas Cowboys, 2016 to 2017, linebackers coach and passing game coordinator for some reason. Colts, 2018 to 2021, defensive coordinator, and now Bears.
The jury's still out whether he's a good coach. I don't know. I just think you win if in the NFL, good coaches find ways to win. I don't really think he's found ways to win, but it's like you gotta have major progress. You gotta have CJ Stroud type progress of what the Texans did last year for him to keep his job. Like, he is definitely on the hot seat.
I was trying to see who the head coach of Missouri was.
He didn't get fired, to be honest.
No,
but I'll learn more about him in Hard Knocks.
I'm excited. I was trying to see, Maddie, do you know what Missouri coach he coached under for DC from 2000 something to 2009, 2002, I believe, 2009?
Gosh, I'll know the name when you tell me.
Starts with a G. What I would argue Missouri's best coach.
Stump me.
Gary Pinkel.
See, I wouldn't have got that.
He was a legend. He got kind of pushed out.
So they had Blaine Gabbert, who was good. They had the other guy that was good. There's a backup quarterback for like 12 years on every team.
Oh, yeah.
So they had two really good quarterbacks back to back. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Other than that, Matty, I got nothing. Let's go watch some Hard Knocks. If you got anything
else. We'll keep it short. Anything else you want to say real fast? You want to any message to the youth of the world?
Just watch Canadian football. It's fun as hell.
So you never feel like you're out of football?
No, Matty, I'm literally never out of football.
That's amazing to be, man. That's the best way to be.
This was the only year that I was kind of out of football because between the Super Bowl and the UFL starting up.
Yeah, started a little later.
Yeah, they didn't start till late March, so I had about a month of no football.
I'm feeling that it's coming, man. It's coming. It's like it hits your wall a little too because you're like fantasy leagues. You got to sign up for all that. It's about.
And I put these futures in, these win totals, these fantasy leagues.
$400 investment.
These contests, man, I
do this
put like $1,000 into this easy.
Where you got to go 5-0. There's like hundreds of people. There's about 300 people in it. You got to go 5-0, and you split the pot for the week. And then there's like a cumulative winner.
Survivor pools, everything.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, buddy. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
All right, let's go watch Hard Knocks. I'm gonna eat this turkey breast. Great show. We kept it short and sweet because it's gonna get long and hard, like that French guy.
Damn right, son. Damn right.